Hello, hello again. And now I'm gonna make a reflection about languages. I believe that every polyglot should have a list of the languages that he wants to learn, of all the languages that he wants to learn. And same as every polyglot should set goals for every language that he wants to study. So I set goals for all the languages that I want to learn, and I want to learn several languages. Um, when I talk about setting goals, I mean low intermediate, upper intermediate, something like that, low advanced, near native. Every man should set goals for every language that he wants to study. I prefer to use the term intermediate, though I know that intermediate is the correct form, it's the correct word. So, I set goals for all the languages that I want to study. I set goals for every single one of them. I still have some doubts, though. I have some doubts about some languages. When I say I have doubts, I mean there are some languages that I still don't know if I want to learn that language on a low intermediate level or on an intermediate level. And there are other languages too that I don't know if I want to learn them on an intermediate or an upper intermediate. So those are my doubts in some languages, but it will come to me in due course and I'll make my mind back then. I'm thinking about that already, of course, but that's my biggest doubt about setting goals for languages. There are some languages that I want to learn an intermediate level, and I say, why not an upper intermediate level? So why not? And there are other languages that I just want a low intermediate level, but why not an intermediate instead of a low intermediate level? But that will come to me, and that will come to me when it has to. By the time I make my reflection, by the time I start studying those languages, I will make up my mind for sure. So, I believe that every man should have a studying plan, a studying methodology, and a list. So, I want to learn a total, I want to learn something like 80 languages. Not 18, 80 languages. There are too many languages. So I decided to divide it into two parts, just like I said before. I got my languages to study until I reach 40 years old, 37 languages, plus Portuguese, Spanish, and English, so 40 languages, 40 years old, 40 languages. I have just made a shift in here. I changed Greenlandic for Euskara. I was studying Euskara. I dropped it and now I returned to studying Euskara. I'm studying Euskara again, slowly, at my own pace. And so, Greenlandic will make part of the other list of something like 20 languages that I just might dabble in a little bit if I have the time for it. So, until I reach, I'm 30 years old, until I reach 40 years old, I want to master these 37 languages here, for most of them as intermediate, upper intermediate level, for most of them. And then I intend to dabble in a little bit in other languages. So I made up a list of 20 more languages that I just might, among those 20 languages, I might study 10 or 12. But of course, if I can master any of these languages, it would be okay. But if I cannot master any of these languages, so that won't be a problem because I want to master these 37 languages here. So, the other 20, I will choose between 10 or 12 and I will dabble in a little bit. So, that's what I will do. 40 languages, 40 years old, and then between 10 and 20, it's more like 10, 12, at its most 15, so 52, 55 languages until I reach 40 years old. 40 languages to develop to reach a higher standard, and the other 10, 12, 15 to dabble in a little bit. So that's what I will do until I reach 40 years old. So, in these 16 languages, the other 60 languages, in those 20 here, just like I said before, maybe I won't dabble in all of them. So I will choose among those who are here, those languages here, listed here, I will choose 12 or 15. And so that's what I will do until I reach 40 years old. Because I really want to master languages. I really want to master. I don't just want to learn vocabulary and some expressions and then I say, I already talk this language, I already speak this language now. I want to master languages. And so, by the time I reach 40 years old, if I have made this correctly, if I can achieve my goals by the time I reach 40 years old, so 10 years from now, it will start with the other part of my study. So, just like I said, I want to learn something like 81 languages. And so I will start studying the other languages. And which languages are those? Those languages that I want to study after 40. Those languages are, for instance, Maltese, Quechua, Hawaiian, Welsh, Scottish, Shona, Bengali, Tamil, Faroese, Maori, Cree, Tahitian, Papiamento, Slovak, Slovene, Yupik, Afrikaans, and Hausa, for instance. Because I have here Malagasy and Bulgarian that I believe that I will dabble in a little bit until I reach 40 years old. So I didn't mention those languages. Because I want to study them, I want to make them part of this 20, because it's more than 20 now, of course, but like I said, I will choose 12 or 15, so I can shift one for another. And so, that's it. By the time I reach 40 years old, I want to master these 40 languages and dabble in the other 12 or 15. And only then will I start the second part of my study, which will be studying languages like this that I just mentioned. Besides this, what else can I say? Besides this, I want to learn the alphabet, so I will start learning some alphabets. I believe I will start learning some scripts, so I will start learning the Arabic script and Korean, for instance, one easy and one difficult. It's easier for me now to learn one easy and the other one harder, or pretty hard, I believe. I just got some resources, some PDF resources for reading and writing Arabic, so I believe I will start dabbling a little bit on that. So those are my reflections about languages. I hope this has been enlightening for you guys. It has been for me. And this is what I wanted to say about this. And see you guys then.